Hey there, potion makers! The time has come once again for me to continue my journey to become the greatest alchemist of all time, maybe even something greater. But before I jump back to where I left off last time, there is something I want to say quickly. If you look at the game's Steam page at the time of this recording, the game currently sits at a 75% positive rating, and I feel like I have to explain that one. You see, some of the negative reviews are because of the early day bugs, which I think is a little unfair considering that the devs are pushing hotfix after hotfix every couple hours after they get notified of an issue. But the other bigger part of the negativity is that apparently at launch there was some sort of trouble with the game's Chinese translation, and so the Chinese players aggressively review bombed the game in retaliation. What I'm getting at here is that in case you are seeing this game for the first time, I urge you to ignore the ratings and just see some gameplay videos and then decide if this game is right for you. Okay, PSA over. We have just got a stray dog spawned in here. The creature doesn't look very strong, but it seems extremely malicious. Someone skilled in pain can defeat it, or a pain potion mayhap. Well, I do not have the recipe for a pain potion, which means I need to take my adventurer to take care of it. He currently has level 2 in pain. But what I'm going to do here, you see, I have this old pocket knife, and that gives another 2 levels in pain. So I'm just going to put it here. Then he's going to get equipped with it. And now he has a level 4 in pain. And that should be enough for most of my early game challenges. You see, now he has the knife equipped. The only tiny problem here is that we cannot actually take it back from him. We're going to need to let his timer run out again and then not pay him. So he returns home, and that way he's going to drop the knife again. So we are able to use it. But for now, let's put you in here. If we're successful, he's going to kill the dog, and then we have a corpse, which is another alchemy ingredient. At the very end of the last time, I just had the library finished building. Let's see what the tutorial has to say about study. To plan an expedition, you need a map of the region and some knowledge. Each region requires a set amount of knowledge for a basic adventure. To uncover secret places, add more. Doubling the requirement guarantees a rare expedition. Anything in between gives a chance. Each region holds 3 to 4 rare locations, and exploring them all will better prepare you for the next. If your knowledge is too low, combine 4 of the same cards to raise its level. Your library is also a place to study books. They demand complex decryption and many materials, but a potion sharing a book's dominant pillar will reduce both the cost and the time. Let's crack this book open. This book is decorated with the same pattern as the grimoire, but it is locked with a cunning latch and something gurgles inside. If you have at least an improvised library, you can carefully work on opening this book. Okay, and you can see it has a void quality. To decipher a book, you need some funds to purchase paper and candles. Magic books are no simple reading, but if you possess mastery of the pillar related to the book, or add the potion to break a spell, you can greatly reduce the cost of deciphering. Well, at least the earlier versions that I played. The study cost is actually quite negligible, so I never really needed to put a potion here. But if I had a potion with the void quality, I could add that here. that would perhaps substitute for the study cost. But as things are currently, I have enough bronze that I can just do it this way. Alright, and he is done. We gained an animal corpse and a death scent. Good job. The vessel of life now empty. Use it or cast it into the garden for Mother Raw Earth to begin the cycle anew. Okay, and this has the corpse quality, which immediately makes me think that we're going to eventually have corpses that aren't from animals. That's probably related to crime. Okay, and I think I read in one of the hotfixes that seed fertility got a little rework. Apparently the more rare ones got an increase, but it is currently not visible. Okay, and now that you are free, I think we can finally get into the meat of this game, which is expeditions. That's gonna be the way we get most of our materials for my alchemy. And we're going to go to the abandoned church of the three-bodied god. Expedition plan for a unique site in the forest near the city. This forsaken church whispers of a once holy pact. Its deserted altars shrouded in murmuring shadows. In your planning, you decided that Masters of Veil and Pain would be most useful here. Okay, so you get no specifics beforehand, but the expedition tells you which pillars are likely to be important here. Our adventurer does have a level 4 pain, and that should be okay. As for Veil, we do have these coagulation potions that we can give him for a little boost. So we're just gonna put him here, give him a bronze for travel costs, give him a turnip to munch on, and it looks like the game predicts that we have dicey chances here. The life of an adventurer rests in the hands of the names. May the three-bodied show mercy, and may the gaping one not devour him today. He is poorly prepared for this trial, and only great luck might help him survive the unknown dangers. If you haven't already, consider giving them a potion or artifact aligned with the pillars you expect the expedition to test. Watch the expedition closely to learn which potions are effective against certain obstacles, and send them mid-journey when needed. And before we start, we can immediately give him one. I think he's actually gonna drink this one, whereas he might not drink the ones we send afterwards. Okay, and let's actually read the tutorial about expedition. When you prepare an expedition plan, it shows the types of challenges you may face, and the adventure property gives an approximate measure of their difficulty. Prepare wisely, pay more to Adventurers Guild for a skilled adventurer, equip them with an artifact, or use a potion to boost the right pillars. During the expedition, before each challenge, you may use an extra potion. The adventurer won't drink it, but will apply it to overcome the obstacle. Without a potion, their pillar mastery is compared to the challenge. If it's at least twice as high, it's an auto win. If it's half or less, it's an auto loss, and anything in between is up to chance. If the adventurer fails a challenge, the adventure ends and they suffer trauma related to the challenge. So if you don't prepare them well enough, then you're basically losing. all the money and food that you send with them. And they're also going to get a scar. Let's see, we're encountering a plague rat here. The deeply ill creature made its nest in the vestibule, spreading sickness to all who enter. A Veil Master can cleanse the affliction, or a coagulation potion might be used to protect adventurers from the illness's pestilential touch. Well, I think it's a little misleading, the qualities here, because the turnip that I gave also counts towards the Veil property here. So without that, this should only be level 4 Veil. Let's actually send the coagulation potion, just to be sure. We should be getting this one back at the end of the adventure. Meanwhile, I finished cracking open this book. We have a Nigredo. That is the first step of the great making. You need to take a good look at this one, because you're going to be seeing a lot of it. This is going to be the base of all our level up potions. And we gain the recipe for it, which requires regenerative potion, pain potion, and weak poison potion. So that's a whole multi-step process. We gain some whispering shadows. Shadows murmur at the edge of your sight, whispering dubious advice. Their seductive secrets draw you toward the dark unknown threshold. I'm not quite sure if these play into anything later on. We also have a relief here. Let go, lose everything, die. It is the only way to be reborn. I'm still just speculating here, but I want to say that these are going to be useful in rituals and some such. Got a death scent, one gossip, and the bronze. Huh. Did the Bronze Denier always have the pain ability and the ingredient property? Interesting. I don't think I ever noticed that. Well, no matter. We do have a free garden patch here, which of course means more turnip with a little water. Let's get back to here, see how we fare. The adventurers were on the brink of failing the challenge, but by your wise planning, the proper potion was there to save the day. Okay, so looks like we would have lost the challenge otherwise, and it actually used up the potion. I see. Let's actually try planting these Heracleum blossoms. This plant is so voracious that unless planted with some fertilizer, it will ruin the soil. Now, let's figure out if water satisfies that. It does look like it does. That's a pretty cheap way of doing it. But okay. And the adventurer is now taking time to camp. He's gonna eat the turnip and then move on. Let's see. We encounter the cryptic curse Within the decrepit confines of the church, an ancient curse inflicts excruciating agony on those who dare to explore deeper into the sacristy. A painmaster can channel their power to withstand the curse, or adventurers can rely on the regenerative potion to temporarily boost their endurance and pain threshold, allowing them to bypass the cursed area. Well, we do have the recipe. What we don't have is amber powder. So unfortunately, we couldn't send potion even if we wanted to. So I think this can go either way with a level 4 in pain. With ferocious intensity, we wielded the pain, imposing excruciating agony upon our obstacles. The raw power was uncontested, and our laughter shook the I think shook would be more appropriate here. Shook the skies, rendering challenges incapacitated as we passed with ease. The mastery of pain absolute. We hope we deserve a faint smile from the Lady Pain today. Okay, so what this tells us is that level 4 pain is enough for this particular challenge, and I can always supply coagulation potion for the veil, so this adventurer should be enough to tackle everything we can find, at least in these first expeditions. That's very nice. Probably going to have to find someone just for holding water. Oh, we got a whole bunch of stuff. The adventurers have triumphantly won and are now returning with their loot. Okay, so this one coagulation potion didn't get used up. Got some Heracleon blossom seeds. A corpse. Ooh, one entire silver. And it has level 3 in pain. Very interesting. Monastic rituals of the three-bodied god. This tome is bound in somber dark leather, 3 embossed gold circles adorning the cover. Touching it evokes a serene, profound calm, as though standing within the silent walls of an ancient monastery. Okay, this looks like it's also logged. If we had 3 levels in Void, we could bypass the cost and just open it. We found some ritual chimes, which gives 3 to Veil. Silver chimes suspended from a polished mahogany frame. Their sound is pure, cutting through the silence with a clarity that pierces the veil between seen and unseen, enhancing spiritual perception. It is not that legendary artifact, but wise men say it holds a secret that only chosen names know. This sacred instrument will enhance your mastery of the veil. And we found a blueprint to a greenhouse, which is basically an upgrade to the garden patch. Another Heracleon seed. Okay, and it looks like this has a fertility of 4. So you're getting 4 blossoms out of 1 bag of seeds. Okay. Also found some Salvia Divinorum seeds. And another corpse. Okay. This was a very fruitful expedition. Let's arrange stuff neatly here. Like so. And we have the Inquisitor again. He's not going to do much this time around, since we have a standing King's Order. and you never have more than one of these at a time. So he's just going to wait and then go home. What did we find here? Recipe for pain potion and the weak poison potion and the schematic for the rusty pot, which we don't technically need because we already have one. I do wonder why it's even here. Another Whispering Shadows, the Death Scent, Gossip and the Rumor. So basically it was all for the recipes. Since I have a pot, I don't need a schematic. Okay, you are also getting hungry. Gonna feed you in a moment. But this looks like a nice time. Try tossing the leftovers here. So since this is a level 1 decomposable, that should get me level 1 fertilizer. Let's see how it goes. And after that, I should draw another map. So I have somewhere to send my adventurer. Okay. Good for now. Let's see this one. Darker than black, the third stem of the great making. A complete decomposition of elements. Just as darkness holds the potential to become light, this potion holds the potential to become something more. It is unfinished, but fortunately, you inherited a note stating that you can add one of the following to begin your ascension. Coagulation potion, waking potion, anesthetic potion, sleeping potion, or collective potion. Those basically correspond to each of these pillars, and depending on which of those potions you mix with the Nigredo, you gain a potion that would increase that specific pillar. And if we take a look at the Ascension tree right now. Oh, they fixed it. Now you can read the tooltip of all of them. That's a bit disappointing. I thought only being able to see the next step was intentional. Oh well. Okay, now, we start here, at the bottom. We are nothing but a lowly alchemist. You see, all these circles are steps on our ascension. Then all of these paths are color-coded. So every finished Nigredo that you drink is going to put you along one of these specific paths. So green for veil, red for pain. I think brownish orange for song. This blue is, I think, for mirror. And this grayish blue should be for void. So here we can choose one of these, and whichever you reach first will block the other two, so you cannot branch out. You need to pick one direction to go. So if we concentrate on veil or pain, we could reach the apothecary. Those who care only about doing good will never succeed in the mastery of healing. The will to defeat a disease must include the will to cut anything or anyone beyond salvation. Those who care only about cutting disease will never succeed in the art of healing. You need to soothe the hurting and help it regrow, or else you just help the disease to kill. The balance very few can maintain. This subclass will increase your affinity with the pain and veil pillars, gives you the potioneer property, and grants the recipe of Albedo, which all of them does, because that's gonna be the next step in the ascension. We also have a Meister. The craft is to shape the world, to leave your mark upon the formless. But true mastery lies not in creation alone. It is in the harmony, the rhythm, the subtle music of the hammer's strike and the chisel's whisper. The Meister listens to this silent song, weaving it into their every creation, until the world sings with their touch. This subclass will increase your affinity with the song pillar, gives you the worker property, and the recipe for Albedo. And finally, we got the Poisoner here. Deception is an art, and death its shadow. The Poisoner understands that destruction arrives not with a shout, but with a whisper, unnoticed until it is too late. Their craft is more than poison. It is the weaving of a truth so twisted that even the body believes the lie. In their hands, the void smiles behind the gilded veil. This subclass increases your affinity with Mirror and Void Pillar, grants the Malefactor property, and the recipe for Albedo. Okay, so out of these three, I'm leaning more towards Meister. As you see, it kinda locks you on the song path until you reach the Doctor, and then it's gonna allow you to branch out. I never got this far in the demo builds, so I don't know if you start ascending, let's say this way, with Veil, and when you reach here, if maybe you have the option to branch back the other way. I guess we just have to get here and see. Not going to read into the higher levels yet. Let's keep a little bit of the mystery here. For now, until I decide otherwise, we're gonna build toward Meister. And once we have these potions, you're going to see it better. But actually the color of the background of the potion is indicative of the pillar that it corresponds to. So Coagulation Potion is a bit greenish because it's Veil. The Pain Potion is obviously going to be red. For the Pain Pillar, okay, we have the compost now. The worker is not required for matter to pass through the Great Cycle. Mother Raw Earth will see to it herself. The potency of the resulting compost correlates with the amount of decomposable. Okay, there we have it. We have now a level 1 compost. And I guess some plants are going to call for even stronger ones. Never seen one of those before. Well, actually I can make a pain potion. I just need to juice both of these. And with an animal corpse, I'm able to make one. The problem with these, the pain potion, the poison potion, and even the vivid dream potion, is that these count as poison, which does count as evil, which means the Inquisitor would immediately take one if they find it on you. Which means I should only make these once the Inquisitor is gone. And I do believe he has a bit of a cooldown, so you don't get him twice in a row. The game is a little forgiving like that. Huh, look at that. Even with basic gossip, we found a unique location. The extinct hamlets of the Halflings. Interesting. Okay, do I send you here now? Let's see what this says. Overgrown and forgotten, these tiny ruins hint at laughter and life long departed. Now silent beneath the canopy of time, your planning suggests that Masters of Pain will be most useful. Okay, so this lists only one quality. Let's see if level 4 would be enough. And we don't even need to send a coagulation potion, since Veil wasn't listed. And this says we have high chances of success. The chances of some treacherous name meddling just to ruin things are minimal, but never zero. Still, you've prepared your adventurer as well as anyone could, and you may now hope for a rich loot. Isn't that what we all hope for? Oh, got 2 juices right away. Wonderful. I could make a pain potion right away if I wanted to, but not while he is here. But that kinda means that I want to process this other one too. And then we should replant the garden. Okay, this time we only got 1 juice. That's still better than nothing. Okay, craft room it is. We do have everything that's needed, except a plot of land. So to the surveyor we go. And 1 bronze is still enough. That's nice. We're still early in the game. The plot thickens. And this should be everything. Ah, this auto grab button is so nice. And we have our craft room. A room for crafts unrelated to potion brewing. Here you can create alchemical tools and improve the quality of materials. Also, you can upgrade coins for higher value variants here. So if you get tired of always using bronzes one at a time, you just turn them into silver. And we have a schematic for basic materials. So it's basically a recipe for not alchemy. Okay, so we need to combine 1 branch, 1 stone with 1 of either. We're currently out of branches, so we're gonna need to send someone to the forest's edge. But now we're gonna be able to make materials, so that's good enough. I'm getting a little tired. Let's go to sleep here. And we're done. Another corpse. 1 silver. A book on the magic of healthy food. Because of course. What else would halflings have? Bound in fresh leaf green leather, this book emits a faint pleasant aroma reminiscent of a blooming herb garden, inviting a sense of well-being and vitality to those who peruse its pages. Okay, sounds rather pleasant. We found a belt of necessary tools. Made from supple leather, this belt feels like each tool is singing its own note. It enhances the wearer's ability to repair and create, harmonizing with the natural order of things. Circa made many things that were not meant to be artifacts, but you can't just make regular things while wielding Baal. This sacred instrument will enhance your mastery of the song. That's nice. Another bag of Heracleum. And some salvia. Another corpse. Even more Heracleum. We're going to be needing a lot of those later. So having a bunch early is never bad. Alright. And it looks like this is a good place for me to stop. Thank you for watching. If you are enjoying this in any way, shape or form, then please give the video a like. And I will return shortly with more tales of my exploits. Until then, happy brewing!